Good evening, televiewers. Welcome to Prime Hour, the first edition of this week from the 15th to the 18th of March 2023. Sons and daughters of Aghem, under the guide of the Paramount Fund of Aghem, Fund Bambi, the second will be gathering in Womb, Chieftown of Njuh Division, for a Peace and Unity Conference under the theme Peace Building Initiative for Living Together and Lasting Peace in Aghem. That is going to be the focus for today's edition of Prime Hour on My Media Prime. And we are going to be exploring what is going to be unfolding in Womb from the 15th to the 18th of March 2023 with illustrious sons and daughters of Aghem clan who are in the studio with me this evening. We are in the company of Mr. Fung John, who is coming all the way from Bomenda, Northwest Regional Capital. He is also very involved with the organization and the process of the unfolding of the conference. We're glad to have you with us for the very first, not the first time.
Correct.
You were already on Prime Hour in Bomenda.
Yeah.
We are glad to have you.
The maiden edition
Yes.
of Medium Prime.
Yes, in Bomenda.
I think
Yes.
that was precisely in a blue pen.
Yes.
Yes, it was quite challenging but so exciting.
Yes.
Again, it's a pleasure to be here in the economic city, the city of the nation, to talk critical things towards building peace in Aghem and in the nation as a whole. So once more, I am glad to be here.
Okay, we also in the company of Mr. Divine Kwansuh. He's actually a colleague, a journalist, who works in Yaoundé, the nation's capital. But traditionally, he is the traditional prime minister, if I'm not mistaken, of Kwansuh village in Aghem clan. We're glad to have you for the first time on Prime Hour.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Leonard. It is my pleasure to be here for the first time. I've not been there before.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing, I will begin by thanking you for accepting us here in this studio at even very short notice, so that will help us make the world know what we intend to do during the days starting from the 15th through to the 18th of March.
Okay, yeah. We are going to be exploring with you what is going to be unfolding in Aghem from the 15th to the 18th of March. But already, Womb is set for this conference?
From, like you see, I'm from Yaoundé, but from reliable sources, Womb is very set.
Okay, Womb is very set. We are going to be following up and reporting on every activity that is going to be unfolding out there in Womb. We also in the company of a very dynamic lady who is not coming to My Media Prime for the first time, but the first time on Prime Hour. Njuh Gorreti is with us, also coming all the way from Bomenda, Northwest Regional Capital. We're glad to have you.
Thank you, Mr. Leonard. It's my humble pleasure to be here today again.
I'm sure the ladies out there in Womb are preparing to receive the massive delegation that is going to be coming from all 10 regions of Cameroon.
Oh yeah, it's a collective effort and they are doing their utmost best to make sure peace reigns, because they are the ones who have actually felt the impact of the crisis.
Okay.
So they just can't wait.
Okay, they can't wait. They are dotting they are cutting the T's and dotting the I's to ensure that everything goes on well. We're also in the company of Sule Buba, who is just joining us in the studio. All right, yeah, he's not coming on My Media Prime for the first time. No, Prime Hour, he's been here already. Good evening, Sule. We're glad to have you.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Leo. It's my pleasure.
How are you today?
No, I'm fine.
Okay, Mr. Fung, I'll start this program with you. We are talking about a conference that is supposed to take place out there in Aghem, in whom precisely. Where are we coming from with this conference and at this time?
Great. Following the social unrest in whom in the recent past that resulted in killings, maiming, destruction of property. I mean, women not going to farm. In fact, life's almost coming to a standstill in that clan. Well, it was a call. The Aghem people cried. The women folk in particular, you must have witnessed the social media, how they were moving around the town, singing, dancing, in, cry that peace should come back. They could not understand what was happening in womb, that too much blood was being spilled in womb. Young children gone down, palaces desecrated, condoms abandoned by their fonts or chiefs. So on the 28th of January this year, during the Akada annual general meeting, the fund of Aghem, that's the custodian of Aghem, Denkaghem, in a very distressed call, summoned all the Aghem people, men, women, youth, really resident, even our brothers abroad in the diaspora, to converge on womb, so much so that we can sit together like brothers and sisters, children of the same family, and look ourselves from eye to eye and talk. Sit, make a diagnosis of the causes of what is happening in womb. We know womb, for your information, is renowned for its legendary hospitality, very welcoming, jovial people. They like, the brotherhood that used to be suddenly come to a halt, and we had all what we have witnessed all this while. So the fund of Aghem said, let's come and sit. So that is why during this 4-day conference, all the sons and daughters of Aghem, wherever you find yourself, this is the moment that we should come and sit. That brotherhood should come back. Love, peace should reign in Aghem. So it was just a call from the biggest traditional authority that we are heeding. Okay. So yes, we are heeding to that call.
Yes, Mr. Divine, Kwansuh, can you paint a picture of what the people of Aghem have lived all these years? Talking about the 6 years of the ongoing crisis, but beyond that, were there on other crises rocking the community which may have accumulated to where we are today?
Exactly, Mr. Liu. My opening statement is that a crisis is like a disease. When there is, like recently we had COVID. When there is a disease or an epidemic, it devastates more where the prevailing conditions favor the devastation. So the Aghem land, because the Aghem land means the land where the people of Aghem origin made around about 12, 13 villages, fondoms, reside. The first thing that one notices about the Aghem clan is that the people are one of those people who are settled in, they have a nucleated settlement, which means that people have one place where they are concentrated to settle, and then the other vast extent of land are reserved for cultivation, which is the principal activity of the people. So it so comes that over the years, it is very normal that when there is land, it will attract people. It will attract people who need land to use. So first and foremost, some years back, that is about the 50s history holds, the Fulani, who at that time were, I think, nomadic cattle rearers. So they came to Aghem land, and from records they were welcome and apportioned land where they could graze their cattle. Within the years, arrangements were made at times because of the shifting cultivation pattern of the Aghem. The grazers will go on and use one piece of land while farming is going on the other one. So, like people must know, grazing and farming are always not very the best bedfellows. There's a tendency that since cattle are not people, they most of the time stray off. Instead of grazing on wheat, they go grazing on food crops. So that is how now an almost endemic crisis situation set in. Now we always had skirmishes between farmers and graziers. So in a nutshell, when the current socio-political or economic crisis in the Northwest and Southwest came in, it made a fertile ground in womb, where they were already a place set for crisis to grow on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Mary Gorreti, you are the lone female amongst us. I want you to paint a picture of what our mothers out there have lived during these years.
Thank you, Mr. Leonard. It has been a terrible situation because our mothers have not had it easy for the past 6 years since the crisis began. You know, our main source of livelihood in Njuh, in womb in particular, is farming. So for the past years, our mothers, our women have been unable to go to their farms due to the insecurity, due to the ongoing crisis, because apparently it's not just the crisis, the Anglophone socio-political crisis that is plaguing womb, but there is a crisis within a crisis that is plaguing and ravaging the community, the farmer-grazer crisis. The Aghem and the Fulani, they are at loggerheads, so it has created a lot of insecurity such that our women cannot go to the farm unless they go in a group because of the social unrest. Maybe most often if somebody goes to the farm and we say, okay, she went to harvest vegetable and she didn't come back. He went to fetch wood and he never came back because probably the Fulanis murdered the person in the process of going to the bush or coming back, or why the person was in the bush. So it has actually been a horrific experience in Njuh, in womb, in Aghem in particular, and this is a big cause for concern. We cannot just sit and watch our community perish. We cannot just sit and watch and fold our hands, watching our people dying on a daily basis over something we don't know, something they don't deserve to suffer over it. So the women who are the bearer, who are the mothers of the society, have been burying their children, burying their husbands, and it has really been threatening their security. The fragile women, they have become so vulnerable, they have become so restless due to the insecurity, the social unrest, because they don't know the next second what might happen, and things have been happening, terrible things. We think that, okay, maybe there is some fragile peace, and we get up the next morning, we hear, oh, this one was killed in the bush and was thrown in water, or was slaughtered and brutally murdered. So it has really been horrible, and the women are really, really terrified. They are really, really they're going through a lot. Yeah, they're actually going through a pathetic experience.
Okay,
which is a cause for concern.
It's not been easy for our mothers out there. Okay, what about the situation of the young Aghem girl? How has she lived these years?
The young Aghem girl has actually been not the young Aghem girl I used to be in those days. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is a gap. There is a big difference, because in those days when we were going to school, we were putting on our uniforms. There was peace. In fact, we were actually enjoying education. We were enjoying studies. But right now, the young Aghem girls, many of them have become teenage mothers. They have dropped out of school, and some of them, they have gone to cities, living miserable lives, being raped, in fact, they have just become something else. Not the decent Aghem girls that I used to know when I was growing up. When I was growing up in womb, it was actually a beautiful scenario. It was a beautiful environment. Okay. It was safe for the girl child to go to school and achieve her dream. But right now, it's a different story, and it's actually it's raising eyebrows, because if you don't do something right now, and the future Aghem girl will not be something pleasant for the eyes.
Okay, Sule Buba, you and I we studied there. The school behind us, churches whom we both studied there, we walked to my 50. Yes, where is this misunderstanding coming from? Do you have a feeling that the Muslims and the Aghem community are at loggerheads, or there is a misunderstanding somewhere? Did you feel like an Aghem person when you lived in?
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. As I said the other time, I will still repeat it. You see, it depends on the way we look at life.
Okay.
It depends on the way we look at people. Because this issue, this factor where some people feel they are first-class citizens and some other people are second-class citizens, that's where these problems start coming. And then secondly, I want to reiterate the fact that the crisis in womb is not like solely, we are the Muslim community or the Fulani, Hausa Fulani community are not solely responsible for the unrest in womb. That is just like that's not the immediate cause of what is happening in womb. So if we want to talk about what is happening in womb, then I think we should either focus on exactly where the problem is coming, and then we talk it out, because that's where we were living in peace.
That is the picture. That is the picture I want you to paint.
Yes.
How you lived in womb.
Yeah, that's why we were living in peace in womb, in the whole of Njuh, in the whole of Northwest. We were living well. We never had any problem. So if today there is a problem, then I think that it is for all of us to come together and look for a solution and try to see where the problem is coming from. You understand? Because I think that if we want to go detailedly, like we want to say between us and the native population, where the problem started, then I think that we'll be digging too deep. and then I think we will not be following the inscription, the description on the
path to peace.
Yes, the path to peace. So you see, that's it. So I don't know exactly, because I'm here because I feel that all of us need this peace.
Okay, all of us need peace in let's look at the situation of the traditional ruler of Aghem. We're talking about the paramount of Fung, who summoned almost everybody to be there. He's been blamed severally alongside other traditional political and other leaders within the Aghem clan. How did the population receive this call from Bambi for everybody to be in womb, and how committed are the people?
Great. How committed are the people? I think from our reactions, both individually, financially, the social mobilization, the advocacy, the commitment. I think it was a call that everybody adhere to. So that is why you see all of us mobilizing resources. We had to make this trip because we thought it was very essential, and many other things. So when it came, people say, you must have seen when it was happening, the cry was too loud. That where was our Fung? Where are our traditional leaders? It could be justified. Yes, some were kidnapped. For your information, the paramount Fung doesn't only, solely occupy the position as a paramount Fung, acting or ruling from his palace. Is a resident in Bamenda, where he occupies the seat of the scribe of the Norwest Chief Assembly. So most of his time is spent in Bamenda. We understand that's more political and administrative. Great. So when he made this call, they say, wow, the women have wept a lot, we have lost a lot of means of materials, destruction, so they had to come. So now the younger generation, the women, our diaspora, internal and external elite that have been mobilizing resources, material for, a huge free ground rally in womb. So that's what I can see. My brother was trying to, recall those nice memory, childhood memory. We have lived with them. I think we don't have particular issues with our Hausa's problem. Then let's contextualize where or the genesis or the historicity of this crisis. Mr. Kum Leonard, getting back, taking you a bit memory lane, our brothers, mostly the Fulani, the Akus, who arrived home in the early 40s, they were actually accepted. I was told that they were going somewhere, but the Aghem people said, we can settle. Now the matrimony was very cordial, harmony. But unfortunately, an incident happened. All of us know, 1972, 73, where that actually sparked up, that caused the Aghem women to stage a walk, to trek to Bamenda to meet the governor to complain because their farms were damaged by cattle. The issue is he raised it of agro-pastoral problem, farmer grazier. I think that's the genesis. So when it happened, these women actually staged that work, but they were interrupted somewhere, and it was so horrifying. It was traumatizing. Leonard, I don't know how old you were at that time. I was still, around the primary school. 1972, 1973, women were
I was not even conceived.
Good. They were, actually they came out naked as they tackled men. Yes, I saw it. They were, it was a voluntary act to protest, to draw the attention of their local administration and the local chiefs that they should pay a listening ear to what was happening in Womb. That actually caused the drafting and the publication, or what is now known as Nseke. Yes, setting up of a committee. And they came out with, set of resolutions called the Nseke resolution. That was in 1973. Well, after that, things, relative peace, calm, returned. And in 1980, it was reignited. Are you aware of the gunning down of 8 Aghem on the 1st of January 1981?
You're going back to the historicity.
Well, I just want to briefly, then we come to where we are.
We are now, yeah.
Yes, today. Then after that, there was another conference. The administrators came in. They actually was some peace talk. Again, in early 2000, well, that resulted into the Kumpa Isa Commission. Relative peace came back, still articulating on the farmer graziers issue. Now, recently, the issue, the Anglophone crisis, which is an exogenous, it's not internal, only came to reignite, exacerbate those feelings, because what is happening that our brother Muslims, our brothers, the Akus and the Aghem are at daggers drawn. It is because some of these memories are still in your mind. And when it happened, they get the wrong targets, what we call collective punishment. We know every womb we have had all the voices in the bushes, or what the destruction we all know. But when it comes to that, can we not sit together and pinpoint the common enemy and form a synergy to bring down that enemy? Why should we leave the enemy and attack the vulnerable, the innocent, in the form of revenge?
Who is the enemy here?
Well, those who are causing those problems. Well, it was told that when they kill a Muslim, what the reaction.
Okay, I get it very clear. You don't want to use the names. Amber Boys. When Amber Boys kill, say a Muslim, and now it is considered that the Amber Boy is an Aghem son, and then the Aghams are targeted. Meanwhile, not every Aghem endorses what the Amber Boys are. So the Aghams are now being targeted. They are victims of some decisions or some actions that they know nothing about. But our traditional Prime Minister of Kwansuh, who is here, your appreciation of what the political traditional class of Aghem have handled the situation so far, and their mobilization to the realization of the conference that is going to be holding in Womb.
Okay, maybe you will permit me to add to that the place of the local administration.
Okay.
Yeah, because it is not very easy to talk about what we are talking without bringing in all the stakeholders. So like you said, the politician, like everywhere in the world, is most of the time interested in self-gain. So if this crisis has to be solved by politicians, it will mean that we will need about 100 other years. So we cannot work also without having our politicians around. Whether genuinely or not, they represent us, they do things on our behalf. So the pattern we have taken, the young men and women of Aghem have taken, is to get everybody involved in genuine talks. Tell somebody that you have done wrong, even if that person, even if it means that the person should not vote for you tomorrow, Mr. Politician, tell him the truth. Because the conflict goes on and on because people don't speak the truth. And especially because people speak deliberate lies. Because the part of the administration, the local administration that are brought in forcefully is that most of the time they have the wrong impression. Most of the time, and then they act on that. I don't want to go back to 81 like Mr. Fung went already, but I'm saying that it is just a repetition, a cycle. So the recent cycle now is that because the administration, the army, the soldiers think that the people who are not staying in town are good sources of information. There are people who can identify or betray the amber fighters who are in the bush. And secondly, because these people too, they are caught somewhere between and betwixt. The amber boys raise some mayhem among them. The amber boys, like I heard, I've not been an amber boy, they used to elope with some cows to feed themselves wherever they were found. So this angers the people who own the cattle. And in turn, the people want some sort of revenge. But because the government, the military want to solve the problem that is current in a way that is just theirs, without consulting properly. It happens that most of the people that, most of the people that have been pinpointed to be amber boys are either people who have some problems with the cattlemen. So people who maybe if I stole your car, you come and declare that no, I was an amber boy. That is why it is clear that many people who have been gunned down, especially in the middle of the town, burnt, were evidently not amber boys, but because they had some maybe land encroachment problem with the cattle area besides. Because the government has decided to trust that all cattle areas are not amber, and then all non-cattle areas are amber. That's how they go ahead. Because people started, the army started raiding, especially neighborhoods that are out of the principal residential area.
Okay.
The people who were almost in the bush. And it would appear that the killing that the Aku Awusas or Muslims, because I don't want to make it religious, followed up with was somehow cautioned by the military. Because we remember the famous video where a military man was talking to some small class building boys, reporting as a video man that they are dépassés by small boys, people who had machine guns. So a small crowd of 5 Hausa boys, they said the boys were more than them. And that the only thing is that they will be following them to be carrying victims to the hospital. So the military literally transformed themselves into first aid workers when they are there to defend. So it comes out clearly that the military have a wrong impression of what is obtaining.
Okay.
And as such, they can only give a wrong solution.
Now, what has been the role of the civil society in Ewimbi itself? They are also caught between two worlds, trying to go according to what the administration expects from them, and also looking at how the political class would appreciate their work, as well as the Amber Boys themselves, and then struggling to lobby with the leadership, the Muslim leadership in Ewimbi.
Yeah, well, it has not really been easy because, you know, the civil society has been caught like in a web. They don't know where to go and, in fact, what to say, because if you denounce this one, this and the person will come for you. And if you denounce maybe the military will come for you. You denounce the politicians, you are in trouble. You denounce the Amber guys, you are in trouble. So the people are in a web where they don't even have a voice to talk, to defend themselves, to cry out. They cry with their mouth under their armpits, and it's really terrible because it's, like there is this saying that when elephants are fighting, the grass suffers. So the people are actually suffering, and most of them are suffering in silence. They cannot actually voice out their grievances due to fear of the unknown, because most people have unsettled scores, and they have been that means regenerating their grievances. And so it is like they're fighting among themselves. And the administration too is not doing justice. Like, okay, if this thing happens, they should like come out, speak and act. Let the other ones see that, okay, this is what the administration has done, and they will be scared of repeating it. But it's like there is some kind of pretexts. People don't really want things to end. They don't really want to they don't want justice to prevail. And so the civil society now, the people are suffering in silence. They cannot really feel free in the society. They are just living and partially living for living sake. They are just, I can say they are just existing. They're not even living, because they're not living their best lives that they were supposed to be living due to the ongoing crisis. And so that is the reason why we are here for them.
Okay, for the
civil society.
The civil society, or the common man in
the common
man
everybody.
who is not a fighter, because
yes.
You say two elephants are fighting, the people are suffering. How do we also understand this collective punishment on the people who may not know who are the sources of some of the attacks?
Yeah, Mr. Liu, if you remember the other time when I was here, I said that I am here because I want us to have a frank talk.
Yes,
and
after very soon we are going to,
because, and then I said that each time good men fail to act, evil triumph. Each time good men fail to act, evil triumph. So, you see, all of us here and the people at home know exactly what is happening. I have said it on this same platform that when this crisis started, the Muslims were not part of it. When the call came for the revolution in the Anglophone zone, the Muslim did not participate, in the being maybe the fighters. Yeah, they were not part of the revolution. They decided to take a position of neutrality, and all that while, now they became targeted by the Amber boys, and then we have one Muslim killed, 2 Muslims, and then some kidnapped. And where now the problem started going, taking everybody, was there was a time one phone of whom came up that he will mediate. He wants to mediate. When one Hausa boy was kidnapped by name Shagari, so he opted to mediate between us and the Amber boys, and we will levied an amount to pay, which we did, and then he was released. So, and then most of the time we discovered that there are lots of people, the Aghem people, who know very well those Amber boys. And then secondly, I have stated in this same platform where situations whereby our cattle have been slaughtered by the Amber boys, and then they carry the meat into the village to sell it. We have information. We are living in whom there is no information that filters without us getting it. So all these things started, poisoning the mind of the people, and then started raising some doubts in their minds. And that was where they added now to the previous problems of the farmer graziers problems, and then all of a sudden, but I want to say that most of the houses, or the houses that were burned in Wuma, were houses that have something to do with the people.
But maybe the children, maybe the children of the parents who own those houses, but the parents did not ask them to engage in some of these actions. Why should a father pay for the crime of the son?
Yes, that's why we always say that when good men fail to act, evil triumph, and when the evil comes, it becomes uncontrollable. So that's why, see, at the beginning of this crisis, we've been expecting, all of us have failed. Not only the Aghem people, not only the Muslim community. Our leaders have failed us ourselves, we have failed ourselves. So now there was total confusion, there was mayhem, and when people go out with anger, there are infiltrators among this group of people. And at that same time, a person involved is not given time to even reason. One person can just say that, okay, let's burn this house, let's kill this person, and before you realize, the act has been done. So we cannot really say that it was some kind of, premeditated act, or maybe the Fulani or the Hausa people sat and said that, okay, this is the punishment, or this is what they are going to do. It didn't happen like that. Because I can remember the day Alhaji Bala was killed. Whom was peaceful that day. In the morning, everybody was in his different activity. And then all of a sudden, he himself, he came out, dressed with his boots to go to his cattle ranch. And then all of a sudden, about 2:33 like that, he did not come back to the house. Then one person brought the information, because there were two of them. He ran back, he said that Alhaji Bala has been killed. And then the Muslim, now all of them in their numbers, rushed to the scene, and they discovered that he was killed since maybe around 1:30 or before. Because if you look at his body, it seems that he has been lying there for a very long time. And then just after the incident, the Muslims did not act that day. After the incident, an incident came up where 2 Fulani people were slaughtered. And then the Legnos camp, where they settled the Fulanis who came from Legnos, was burned down, and then people killed. And then the day of the burial, because 2 people died, while they were about to bury the 2 people, the other father was in the hospital. Somebody just called that, okay, he himself has given up. And it was that day that the people decided that no, truth is true, and they went out. And when the military came out, what the military was saying in French was that they didn't say that the people are above them. No, they say that the Muslim community is so dépassé because of the series of events that followed.
Okay.
For that incident.
Okay, but they had the means to stop what was happening. Good evening, Mr. Leo.
No, I just want to. We have to be factual on what we are saying.
Yeah. Good evening, Mr. Leo. Or Mr. John Fung is dodging from calling the Ambas, who are the root cause of the insecurity in whom. Christopher is writing from Bomenda. Good evening, Mr. Leo. And the panel is the main issue is not the historical issue in whom, but the fact that some of our chiefs have sold the farmlands to the Muslims, and the worst part of it is when the administrators or the military watch support persons doing barbarism. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Only peace and unity will make the entire Njuh division happy again. We need total reconciliation. My regards to all the panelists. Kidza Julius Ibwi writing there. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Peace is the best thing in life. We need to make up to stop killings and bring back stability in our village. Greetings to my uncle in the studio, Mr. John Fungum from Fung John, writing from Mutengene. Good evening, Mr. Leo. My humble contributions is to really resolve the problem and live in an atmosphere where there is no trauma, no fear, but have our freedom of movement, and above all, let's live in peace and harmony as before. Let's give peace a chance in Njuh division by regards to Uncle John and Madame Marie. Njuh AB writing there. Good evening, Mr. Kum. Extend my greetings to the entire panel, especially to Njuh, Marie Gorreti. It's Doris writing from Loom. I'm enjoying her boldness. Please, for peace to reign in womb. Okay, good evening, Mr. Liu. My humble contribution is for us to seek lasting peace. Now, there is going to be a conference in Womb.
Yes.
Who are those expected to be part of this conference, and what are the activities earmarked for these 3 days?
Great. It's a series of activities. If you look at the program, the program is so exhaustive, and we believe that within the 4 days, we'll exhaust and come up with some far-reaching resolutions and a follow-up committee for implementation. We'll certainly come up with immediate short-term, medium term, and long term. Yes. So who is a participant or who is an attendee? Every goodwill. Aghem, a mother, son, daughter, internal elite, external elite. In fact, we are inviting everybody. You have started receiving contributions. Those are the type of contributions we are expecting. That please come, forward them, so much so that during these 3 days or 4 days, we will sit and talk as we are talking out. Let's talk out all these issues. And now, as said, bury our egos. Forget and forgive. Because we have realized that apparently when we have these skirmishes, they come, we seem to have forgiven. But we never forget. That is why when you think of what happened yesterday, you want to bring back and settle scores today. So we should sit together with our Awusa's brother, with whom we have no quarrels, with our grazers or the Akus, with whom we had no problems. Yes, he has raised a pertinent issue, the issue of the complicity of some of our local chiefs, the administration, and the military today. Why can we not sit as brothers and sisters now and put the finger where there is a problem? If it's about denouncing them, we should denounce, because they will be invited. There will be also attendees. The administration will be attending. Every well-thinking Aghem, any resident who is in Aghem, we should be in Aghem. We will start at Zonko the first day, usually a communication service, and we'll have, speeches by the various stakeholders. We have the politicians, they have to talk because they are enjoying our mandate. So if they should not abuse our mandate, we will restate to them what their role, if at all they are enjoying our mandate, the aspiration of the Aghem or the womb community. We will tell them while looking them directly into their eyes. We will tell the administration. I will wish the military should be represented, because all these issues will be solved.
How do you discuss this in womb where the military is and the military is not represented? Would the senior divisional officer and the divisional officer not come with the Etat Major? Certainly they are going to be there.
That's what we are saying. Yes. No, more often than not, well, it's not that we are accusing them. It is, a humble invitation.
Okay.
Let them not play the empty chairs. Let them come. We are coming to talk peace. We are coming to talk unity. We have suffered a lot. Our mothers are no more going to the farm. So it is very inclusive. And I think that at the end of this rally or this conference, we will sit again as we are sitting today with our brother and say, bro, don't stumble. Let's bygones be bygones. We should bury our ego and we'll chart a way forward.
Yeah, you say this is going to afford opportunity
Yes.
for the Aghems to talk about issues,
Yes.
burning issues.
Burning.
Are we saying that the only burning issues in womb today has to do with what we are just discussing here? Are there not in problems amongst the sons and daughters of Aghem, which would also need to be looked into?
You are getting to the crux of the matter. Yes, this is the immediate cause, where we have remote causes,
Yes.
and we have that social antagonism. Even the elite, among the elite, there's always a friction because of either personal aggrandizement, political issues. Why can we not tell them that, brother? Yes, we can sleep in different beds, but have this common dream, the same dream. The same dream is unity, peace, then development. If all these issues, if we continue to eat ourselves, if we continue to bite ourselves, we would only retard development in that one of the oldest subdivisions that development has retarded. We don't have any, we have not gotten a minister. The whole division has not gotten a minister. I mean, the only structure that was a live wire that was liquidated with no reason. Can we not sit as a group, reconstitute our synergize to bring a powerful lobby, so much so that we can have seats where there is national cake and take a good chunk? Those are the issues. Yes, our elite has been all this while a lot of misunderstanding between elite, the political elite, even the social, the development arm. Akada is, the development arm. But recently, because of crisis of confidence, infighting, and a lot of misunderstanding, misrepresentation, that is where we are today. Fortunately, all these stakeholders will be in womb. And our cry is that, please, everybody should be there. Bring your own country. Don't come only to criticize. Don't come to lay problem. Come with, be a part of a solution, not a part of a problem.
Okay. To solve some of these problems, the military as government should vary information gotten before action. Politicians too should avoid using the population in this crisis to achieve their aims. Paul is writing from Njuh. Greetings from Fulani ethics in womb. This is also as a historical difference. Imagine my father was born in womb 50 years ago. We, the children, are called strangers. So tell me how we should feel, okay? Good evening to you all in the studio, especially to my elegant sister Marie. Womb is and will forever be the land of inestimable hospitality, a land where no disparity exists between its occupants. Be you an Aghem or from another tribe, once you are living in womb, we share a common virtue of love and integrity. Umaru Yauba Kum is writing from Njuh, okay, says he loves womb. Good evening, Mr. Liu and panelists. We should pray to Allah and God to heal our hearts, our minds, souls, hearts, and live as brothers and sisters. After all, we have given up to politics, so we should hold fast to unity, for unity is strength. Masu is writing from Boya. Good evening, Mr. Liu. The only solution to peace. This is Henry from Dubai. Please, Mr. Liu, help me with the prophet number who was on your program yesterday. Okay, get to me later after the program. I will share his number with you. Good evening, Mr. Liu. The main solution in womb is that the indigenous people should take the Aku/Hausas as part of the Aghem community and vice versa in all aspects and contributions, okay? Good evening, Mr. Liu. It's Elvis in Bamenda. My question is, who are the people doing the killings in womb whose names cannot be mentioned? Greetings, Mr. Leonard. Analysis from all them is good, but I think it's not the time to go memory lane to find out who is wrong or right, but what we need is peace, peace, and peace. My regards to all in the studio that are out to send the message out for the peaceful rally. Special greetings to the only lady, Marie. Kumerik is writing from Bomenda. Are we not also into this because of the wrong notion that we have of politics? Traditional stew is politicized, development associations are politicized, water project politicized, and the wrong message the wrong perception is given to almost everything in the clan, and people are living the subject and are chasing the shadow.
You ended with the beginning.
Okay.
Most of the time we are chasing the shadow. And leaving the substance or the object. So what I want to add is that there is one key element that cuts across all those worries. It is poverty, and then especially underdevelopment. So there is one root cause to many of these problems. There are times, like I started earlier, I might become a medical doctor today. Most of the times, symptoms are deceptive.
Okay.
You can have symptoms of malaria when you actually have typhoid.
Yeah, or meningitis.
Or meningitis. So what is happening is that this almost abject poverty, underdevelopment. That's it. Whom is a town that is retrograding in development. When we grew up, Whom was more developed than it is today. In the early 70s, or I think the late 70s, when we were in primary school, Whom was one of the few places in Cameroon that had street lights. And I think the road was tarred. Though there was real life in Whom. We had orchestras, hotels, what they name, because there was that structure water, like he mentioned. So it is like this deliberate putting of Whom below water. Is that unseen unseen disease that is causing these other symptoms? Because it is not understandable why for the past 60 years after independence and unification, a part of the ring road that has become a legendary song has never been even repaired properly. It is not normal enough to leave Bamenda, the political capital of the Northwest region, to Whom, which is less than 100 kilometers away. You have to pay 10,000-15,000 francs for transport. 15-20. There is no understandable reason why for several years we have been making studies about building a dam over the Njuh Falls. And at the end of every year, it is bis repetita. We start singing the same old song, which does not yield. So we think that when we identify, like we say, the proper cause to solving a problem is identify the problem properly. Get the actors, the stakeholders on board, discuss possibilities of a breakthrough. So we will, unlike some people, I'm reacting to some of the reactions from my phone, Mr. Liu. We will, it will not be reasonable to hide what has been happening. At the conference, we will have keynote addresses that will handle various aspects of what is happening. Among them will be the remote and immediate causes, some other aspects, and especially a propounded solution. Because the all and all of the conference is to find a lasting solution. A solution that is not cosmetic. A solution that knows what is wrong and knows how it can be handled properly, and especially with the will. Because where there is no will, there is no way.
Okay, where there's no will, there's no way. Your reading of what politics is seen as contributing to the overall development efforts in Aghem, is it used positively, or is rather being used for division, hate, witch hunting? And how do you think the Aghem clan, especially at this time that the Paramount Fund has called for sons and daughters, these are also some of the aspects to look into, that in other areas politics is used positively, be you of the opposition, or why do we kill ourselves here with politicking?
Thank you once more, Mr. Liu. The way politics is being used in womb is actually abusive, because I see there is a lot of infighting amongst the politicians. It's either me or no one else. And we don't want to like promote our own. We don't want, that means we don't want to encourage our own. We keep condemning ourselves. We keep backbiting ourselves. We keep insulting ourselves because we want that a particular group of people, but if it is not my person who is ruling, I cannot support that person. So the role of politicians in whom has actually not, I can say it's passive or partial. It has not actually been the best method. They have not actually been applying the best method, because some of those politicians believe so much in protecting their self-interest, their position in the political party. I always tell them that uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. But most often, some of these politicians seem to be like indifferent. They are not actually concerned when the people are crying out loud, even though some of them actually play a great role. But some of these politicians, most often, they want to hide. They just keep quiet when the people are crying. They don't really come out and really act. They don't speak for their people. They don't fight for their people. They don't try to like reconcile, to bring genuine peace. And also among the politicians, there is what they call disunity, infighting. They don't love themselves, and that is why we are so backward. That is why even at the level of our paramount fund, we don't have a first-class fund because we don't love ourselves. Had it been the politicians and the people were actually doing the good job that they are supposed to do, we would have been having a first-class paramount fund. Not just a paramount fund, but a first-class fund. But it's all about egocentric interest. It's not about the people. When you are being voted into office, you are not going there when you, because normally during campaigns they sweet talk. They give you all the promises and they tell you what they are going to do. But when they are there in front, we don't feel the impact. We don't feel that the role of they were promising us, the things they are supposed to do. We find ourselves being left on our own.
Yeah, but is this not also an opportunity, like I'm asking, to redefine politicking in Aghem amongst brothers and sisters who are vying for political positions? That is, we come to an understanding that we are just going to the same. We are going to the women market, but maybe one person is passing through the Hausa Quarter, another person is passing through, I don't know what are roads, but fixed towards the same objective. Is this not an opportunity to redefine how we do politics?
Actually, it is an opportunity for us to redefine things, air out our grievances, and see how we can obtain genuine peace, how we can rally behind those people who can actually take us ahead. Not like it should be me. If you failed in politics, or you've been voted into office and you didn't actually accomplish the task you promised the people, please give way for a different person to take over, and let that person at least do something for the people. It should not only be you. There should be some genuineness among these politicians, those who want to occupy positions in the village, even among the Akada, the politicians, because there is an infighting. Let's be honest here. The Akada and the politicians, they are not united. I want to own it. I want to own this position. Give me this post. Come on. let's rally behind that person who can take us ahead.
Okay.
Let's rally behind a genuineness, not self-interest.
Good evening, Mr. Liu and the panelists. I'm indeed enjoying the program. This initiative by the Njuh community is a great one because the level at which we are now in this crisis, only we on ground can put an end. Kudos to the Njuh community, and I pray other communities emulate the same steps. Good evening, Mr. Kum and panelists. Thanks for your ceaseless efforts towards the peace building process in whom I wish we all focus on peace building and stop the blame game. Let all the peace-loving persons of whom, be they Aghem, Fulani or Hausa, take this opportunity to contribute ideas to the much needed peace in whom. Dr. Elvis Z. Ato, writing from Boya. Nikum, good evening. Is Ninde Pan-African from Kumba. What is behind this problem in whom is because of the religion. We do not need these white boys in Africa, okay? Good evening, I'm Ato Stanley, writing from whom. Thumbs up to all the presenters and you, the anchorman. I salute all in the studio, administration, politicians, security, military, locals, and all share blame in the crisis in whom. The way forward is to put the past behind and embrace lasting peace in whom, okay? Good evening, sir. Please, if I can have the man of God's number, okay? It was yesterday. Hello, Mr. Kum, enjoying the program. Gaunduri, well to me. I think it is time for us to be talking solutions to all that has befallen the Aghem land. Derek is right. Okay. Derek Kum writing. Good evening, Mr. Kum. I'm so happy you finally brought up this issue plaguing womb and Njuh as a whole. I think the people have been coexisting well, though with few challenges, until politics came in to favor a certain group of few individuals and bring the people in conflict, okay? I have most of my friends who are Muslims. We grew up together, school together, and are still together peacefully. The few individuals causing this problem should be identified and sorted out. And I think this can only be done if the administration is willing to see the people live in peace. I see that the problem have been watered by the administration for it to grow up to this level. Good evening, Mr. Liu and all the panelists in the studio. We know about the cases where funds, teachers, etc. have been kidnapped and had to pay ransom before being released. No Fulani was accused or attacked by the Aghem people. Whenever a Fulani is kidnapped or attacked, the Fulanis immediately rush to kill and burn houses instead of going to the place where the act has been committed. There is absolute need for peace to reign. Our Fulani brothers need to agree that the Aghem people have no control over the perpetrators. Okay? Ebuatanas is Fung, writing from Douala Bonaberi. Okay, question to the Muslim panelists. Is he insinuating that the youth of O, whoever carries out the retaliatory acts, are ungovernable? Because he said clearly that when the crisis broke out, the Akus and Hausas choose neutrality. This suggests that the Akus and Hausas are a well-coordinated community with an established line of command. So is he saying the Aku and Hausa youths usually carry out these retaliatory actions of burning homes and slaughtering Aghem indigents are ungovernable? Or is he saying that their leaders are negligent or are privy to these heinous retaliatory actions from some of their youths? The solution might be for leaders and opinion leaders like him to put these youths in order. Okay, this one says, if you want to meet for peace talks in whom now that you are planning to call on the presence of the military, will you also call for the voices in the bushes? So, okay, DJ Carpenter is writing from Konya. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Great job by the panelists. What a laudable initiative by the organizers of the upcoming conference in whom we pray it brings peace to our darling subdivision. Greetings to my secondary school, Benchi, Njuh, Marie. Abbas is writing from Yaoundé. Greetings and good evening. Uncle Leo, nice program out there. Uncle Leo, Peace and Unity Conference is tremendous tool to fight the ongoing crisis plaguing our community, but the issue here is that are we talking from the bottom of our hearts? Elvis is writing from Boya. Good evening, Mr. Liu. It's a great step to embrace peace. I think this is a shortcut to end the bigger crisis that we are experiencing. How I wish all chiefdoms with the southwest region can emulate. Scott is writing from Bamenda. This conference has been called. How do you see an opportunity for some of the misunderstandings to be sorted out, present them, talk boldly to one another, and see reason and the best way to live together.
If I have to comment on this conference that have been called,
yes,
I can say that, well, maybe first of all, I will appreciate, you understand, I will consider it a step forward towards peace, but I think that there is still work to be done, because if you look from the panel, if you look from the inscription, you see that they say that Aghem Peace Conference. You understand? And anybody reading from this inscription will understand that it is solely a business of the Aghem people. You understand? Yes, but if we want a lasting solution, we want peace in Wum. Wum is inhabited or cohabited by different communities. These communities should come together to organize this conference. But notwithstanding, I can say that we are just doing our part, because all of us need this peace. And it will not stop me to pass the message I brought here. My message is that we should be honest to ourselves. We should be honest to ourselves. We've been living in peace. And there is no reason why we cannot still continue to live in peace. We should stop all these blame games, as somebody just rightly said, and then we focus on the solutions. Because if today the whole of Northwest is being plagued by this crisis, I think that Wum is twice plagued, because there is this crisis which has affected the whole of Northwest, and then there is another crisis between the Aghem and the Fulani and the Muslims. You understand? Which implies that even after this crisis, maybe Wum will still remain in crisis. And I think that it is high time all of us, the inhabitants of Wum, put our heads together, come together like equal communities, and then we sort out solutions. So I will still appreciate the initiators of this.
Yeah, conference. But I'm sure Mr. Fung said that almost everybody is going to be part of it.
Yeah,
and
but
he
if
said
you look
that keynotes. How does it sound?
Yes.
Sule now. Yeah, Sule, you ended by saying that the naming of the conference is maybe partisan, because it says all Aghem. It could look like that if you don't take it with a pure heart. And normally when we say Aghem, we mean that sphere where all of us living, farming, grazing. So that's Aghem land. So anybody who is not an enemy of Aghems is an Aghem, especially all of us. So these Awusas we have here, they are Aghem Awusas. The Fulanis are Aghem Fulanis. So that is why we said all Aghem. Maybe you just read Aghem and you did not. That is why the all is.
I wanted to ask him a question.
Yeah.
Where are you from? Are you not an Aghem? I'm so surprised, because I always call you brother, yes, don't I?
Of course.
Abbas just wrote me, I always call Abbas brother, because I know we are all from Aghem.
Yeah,
so when you tell me it's like solely the Aghem, it's not about, they didn't say the Aghem language. We're not talking about language here, we're talking about the Aghem clan, and we are all inclusive. Well, yes, we're all included in the
sometimes
conference.
If you bring up something, it's so that it's for people to get it from the horse's mouth. You see, when you use words like this, people feel at home. I'm speaking based on what is happening on the ground.
And
you understand?
Sule, that
So,
is where
it's a very
where
good
our problem
move.
has always been.
Yes, that's
I
where
want
our problem
to
has
talk
always been.
genuinely and sincerely that please let me go back to something you said. You said when this crisis started, the Fulanis, that means the Aku and the Hausa, chose neutrality and impartiality.
Yeah.
Well, when you say the Fulanis and the Hausas, and we are living in one clan, it means you guys are already dividing yourself. You're already removing yourself as part of us, and that is something that you need to kill in your brain, and that because that is what has really landed us where we are today.
Marie, let me
let me talk. Okay. You were saying that you guys, when an Aku or a Hausa is being killed, that is when they come out. It's like you are taking laws into your hands. And I want to ask the military in whom is there no longer law in Cameroon the way, because normally you don't take laws into your hands, you go and report justice. You seek justice to prevail, not that you, because they have killed your brother. You know, do you know how many Aghem sons and daughters, how many Aghem sons that can no longer go to womb because of this crisis? How many of them? Wait, listen, do you know how many Aghems were being killed? Did we ever come out to come and say they were the Hausa that killed them? It's because we look at we the Aghem, our ancestors took you, brought you, welcomed the Hausa and the Aku as part of us. I've always seen an Aku man and a Hausa man as part of us. I've never looked at you like strangers, but you have that mindset, that discriminatory mindset that you guys are not part of us. Then, and it will always find ourselves fighting. And when did that start? When did that mentality? When did that started? When did that start? It started when an Aku is being killed in the bush. Have you ever known this same narrative? We don't gather, we don't rally together to seek justice, to ask who killed this person. You just go in there and you start reacting, you start retaliating.
We are taking this thing out of the objective.
Yes, please.
Yes. Very brief.
Yes.
1 minute, yeah.
Okay, you see, we have been saying on this same panel that we've been living together in peace, like one people. But something happened. We are not fools, for crying out loud. We are not fools. Anything we do, there are reasons. And we have the reasons. Let me tell you something.
There are no reasons to kill now.
Yes, there are no reasons to kill. There are no reasons to kill. No, there are no reasons to kill. I'm saying that the same as they are disowning the Amber, the boys in the bushes, or the Amber boys who have killed our own people, the same way we also are disowning the people who have committed the act of whether killing or mayhem or whatsoever. Because there are killings that have happened in the bushes, and nobody can exactly say whether it was a Fulani man who carried out the killing or not. But they will just say that no, he has been killed by a Fulani man because he was killed in the bush. Oh, he has went to do this, he has went to do that. And then let me tell you, let's be honest to ourselves. There is no way your hand can be bitter if you have not touched a bitter leaf. Okay. Let me tell you the truth. I'm coming. Yes, we have lost people too. We have lost properties too. We have lost properties too. We have lost property too.
We are on,
yes, I have something to say.
No, not things that are rather fueling the situation.
That is it.
Yeah, we are here on a path to peace.
Okay. Let me say something. Look, that's why I'm saying that we should not always try to maybe give some rights, like, you know, try to prove that maybe we are right, this other person is wrong, because we keep doing that. They say hate only begets hate, more hate. You understand? Life is interrelated, and it is either man decides to walk in the light of creative altruism, or decide to walk in the darkness of selfishness. You understand? Okay. So we have to choose our paths.
Okay, Mr.
What do we want?
Mr.
What do we need?
Mr. Fung, we are gathering in womb under the...
Because nobody said that the contributions, the positive contributions the Muslims have been doing in Njuh. You see, all the time is the negative, is the negative, is the negative.
Please.
It doesn't work out, it doesn't work like that.
Sule,
Do you understand?
Let's make peace now, please.
No, we are at peace. Yes.
Okay,
I'm not there. All of us are not there.
Come down. Now, we are gathering in womb for 3 days or 4 days.
4 days.
Yes, the phone is going to be meeting the people where and what are some of the key activities that are going to take place in womb and expected outcomes.
Okay. Well, as I said earlier, it's all inclusive. We're bringing everybody together. Wednesday, we are supposed to meet at the Fun's Palace. That's the cradle of womb. Well, the where we perform our rites. So there will be key speeches. We'll have the ecumenical service. We have religious leaders. Our brothers from the Muslim community will also be present. They will be there. Then we have speeches from political stakeholders. They will talk. Then we'll have deliberations, and the diaspora will also have a say. In fact, it will be characterized by a lot of speeches. Then, when on the second day, that will be the 16th, Thursday, there will be, it will be the crux, the climax, because we'll have all the traditional rulers. They'll have to talk. The Muslim community, the Hausa chief, the Fulani heads will have to talk, and there will be roundtable conferences. Only, as we are discussing here, I think we should not be nervous. We should not grow nervous. We'll be talking as we are talking together. So much so that, well, some sort of a mini national conference. So when we talk, we say bygones are bygones, and we chat a way forward. So that's on the second day, because then we'll have committees. We will work in committees. Great. The third day, that's the second day, will be in the hall. The first day is at the Parliament. Yes, at the palace. The second day will be in town hall, where we'll have these other brothers, administration, the other communities who will be there. Then we'll have roundtable conferences. Then the other day, the last day, will certainly go back, because it's what we're talking of, chatting a way forward. So we have to involve the community. The fund will be there to coordinate activities. Resolutions committee will be formed for the follow-up of the implementation, because we have to come up with a resolution. And again, well, the water issue will certainly come on. Well, if the program has not been modified, there are other issues. Since the elites, they will be there, we'll talk the work. And the last day, there will be a march past, movement.
A peace walk?
A peace walk, that's it.
Okay.
There's a peace walk. We don't forget the cultural aspect of it, because it's a come together. Many Aghem elite who have not met for quite some time. It would be some sort of a moment of social mobilization, communal integration. We will make friends. We will revisit. We will see our brothers that we have not seen for close to 10, 20, 30 years, and we will talk peace, as I said earlier. I don't think it will culminate in what we are having here. They will just want to, this purposely is to remind us that we should be in womb. It's not for us to come and start the blame game. It was not.
Okay, we're glad that as we are discussing, many persons are already in the spirit of our discussion, going by the so many messages that are coming in. Hello, Mr. Leo. Good evening, and thanks to your guests and the fact that you people are talking about development. Make the Lord our God hear our cry. I'm Pankeng Yafe, writing from Bangulan. Good evening, sir. Special thanks to the team of the program tonight. Just wish to say that I wish to have the telephone numbers of all the panelists of this program. It's purely for educational stuff, which is closely related to the topic you people are discussing. Che Chu is writing from Simbok. Greetings, Mr. Liu. One of the problems that led to this crisis in Cameroon is discrimination from Francophones over the Anglophones communities. That's the same we Muslims suffer from Njuh. So what then are we fighting Francophones when we are doing the same? I'm Sule Buba, writing from Boya. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I want to thank you and your co-panelists, especially Mr. Fung John. I think when they say the beautiful ones are not yet born, it's true, because we need good and competent administrators in womb. In whom it's like dog eat dog to get fat. Politicians work for their interests at all costs. Ena Donat is writing from Mancon. Good evening, Mr. Liu and the panelists. I'm indeed enjoying the program. This initiative by the Njuh committee is a great one, because the level at which we are now in this crisis, only we on ground, okay? While Leslie is writing from Bomenda, Mr. Liu, evening to you and the panelists. Your programs are so important that need no emphasis. The peace talks in womb should be the foundation of peace to Cameroon. Let the entire Southern Cameroon copy the womb example, thanks to the initiators of these peace talks. Good evening, sir. Womb was better 3 decades ago under SDF, but since the people have chosen the CPDM, let them face and dance the music of insecurities and underdevelopment. Special greetings to the man with the black cap. Gamma Eric is writing from Kumba. Good evening, Kum. The elite of Aghem clan should tell Yaoundé to face the facts and not implicate yourselves. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I agree. It's time for all stakeholders abroad on board to pave a way forward for WOM in particular, and Njuh in general. WOM doesn't deserve the face it's putting on now, looking back at old good days. My regards to all the panelists, especially Fung John from Dr. Kingsley Cheso. That's the regional delegate for public health, Northwest region. Good evening to you, Monsieur le Délégué. Good evening, Mr. Liu and panelists. It can't be peace because of the meeting holds the military and the civilian politicians will say the population are behind them. Dango Moses writing from Tico. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I thank God for this peace talk coming up in the days ahead. Let all participants think positive and forget about self-satisfaction for a successful deliberation to end the atrocities in womb. My regards to Njuh Marie, Tam Gilbert, writing from Cambe. Good evening, Mr. Leo. Womb is our land. No matter what, womb will forever remain our land. All we need is peace. Gustafsson, Mughal writing from Way. Good evening, Mr. Leo. A wonderful program. We grew up together in peace and harmony with my Muslim brothers, Umaru Yaoba Kum. He cannot be distinguished from a typical Aghem native because he knows and understands the core of the Aghem tradition. That is the magic of the land. I miss him. I'm Atro Eric Z, writing from Bafusam. Good evening, Mr. Liu and the venerable panel. What a fantastic initiative. We know that the most disadvantageous peace is preferable to the most just war. Peace cannot be kept by force, but through understanding. Let us give peace a chance. Cliff, our writing from Boya. Good evening, Mr. Liu. To all the studio, good initiative. Daisy is writing from Kumba. Mwaze Kum Leo. Okay, you're writing the dialect, okay? I salute your media outlet for organizing this talk. It is very important for the Aghams to come together and resolve this farmer grazier issue in womb. I flew in from the US for these peace talks in womb. Hopefully these talks will end this issue. I don't want to watch the military to ask that funny question again, that why are you vexed? Billy, welcome. You're writing from Bomenda. Good evening, Mr. Liu and all your panelists. I'm learning a lot from the program this evening. Julius is writing from Bomenda. Coming back, Mr. Kum, is Bonnie in Boya. Appreciate the upcoming conference, but my worry is whom at the moment is said to be happily lived by the Muslims and the Aghem Christians, live in fear because the military there act in support of perpetrators. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Tell the panelists that they should stop quarreling and that prestigious platform. Mr. Sule and the lady seems to be out of context. They should stop fueling the problem. I think they should preach peace, forgiveness, and reconciliation. Mula Andre is writing from Tiko. Yes, let's look at the way forward. How do we make people to understand that this call by the paramount fund of Aghem should be taken out of the ongoing Anglophone crisis?
Okay.
This is not the aim is not to solve the Anglophone crisis, and that politicians also should not want to make political gains out of what is happening now.
Okay, thank you again, Mr. Liu. Like you said, maybe you would need to repeat, in as much as I'm acting as a communication person in one of the committees organizing the event, I can, of course, never leave behind my own position in the village. So like you mentioned earlier, I'm directly involved in the land, in land matters. So my position makes me the first servant of the king. So I have some authority over the land, the whole land. So one thing that I want to say, and that I will say during the conference, is that the land in Womb, especially in my fondom Kwansuh, is enough for all the Muslims and all the Aghem farmers. What we need is that we should use this land with understanding. Some people will tell you that the chiefs have sold all the land. No, the land is very vast. We must thank our ancestors for fighting so much and getting such an expanse of land. So the land is there. We can have more graziers and more farmers working. The land is not yet exhausted. So you don't have to fight over crumbs when the whole loaf is still there. So then there is a possibility, a very clear possibility, that we can live in harmony like we used to live before. It is not as if there's anything lacking. We can resettle, we can reapportion. And like he mentioned earlier, there have been recommendations. I mentioned the resolution, the Nseke Commission. Gumpa is a Nseke Commission. Why don't we relook into this, the resolutions of these commissions, reactivate them, and put them? And because when we talk about resolutions that were taken about 40 years ago, we need to upgrade to present time realities. So I just think that with the right mindset, all the stakeholders, because nobody has been left behind. Everybody will be there. Even the people who think that they are hated have been called to come and hear that nobody hates another person. We have enough to share. Let's just share it judiciously. I think that's what I want to say.
Yes, but keeping this in context, how do we keep this in context away from the ongoing Anglophone crisis? This is a call of a father, the paramount fund of the Aghems. He's calling his sons and daughters. Can we fix our home? How do we fix this void of politicking, Mary?
Before she comes in, let me say this. What you're saying is very important, because I've received a lot of worries, a lot of questions that in the heat of this ongoing crisis, are we not actually beating about the bush? I want to say this. First of all, this meeting is convened by the paramount form of issue void of politicians. If it were convened by a local politician, it may not have had the successes we are having today. That is one. All those who are too controversial are not the main conveners. That is one positive aspect. So we are not saying that we will bring about will bring an end to the Anglophone crisis. We have also recognized that this crisis has rather been an external and opportunity for all what we are having, the social unrest in whom is an opportunity that has been negatively exploited to set our brothers and sisters at daggers drawn. So we believe that if we continue to remain silent, to fold our arms, because the Anglophone crisis is protracting, we will continue to lose many souls. The fund came out and said, my children, let's sit together. When we say the paramount fund of Aghem, well, he's the paramount fund of the clan. So all of us are meeting, and we are meeting with the politicians. With the politicians. Why can we not set the pace in Aghem? We are not saying that we'll bring solutions to all the situation, but if we start by solving our problems ourselves, would that not, get other communities to copy what the Aghem man has done, so much so that we should regain the legendary peace and fetch along with development. So we are saying that many people have capitalized and seized this opportunity, and they have hidden behind the Anglophone crisis to perpetuate what we are having in So if we put all this together, because we'll be cut on table, we talk out. To talk out is not hypocrisy. Let's talk out this issue and bring all the grievances into a basket, and all together we'll carry it to the river. We will sink all and flow it out and come back and say, brother, the way forward. And if we succeed in whom, Mr. Liu, don't you think that it will be a breakthrough? It will be the beginning of a solution, not only in Wumme, in the whole Northwest region.
Yes, many persons are writing that they would want their communities to emulate what is going to happen.
That's it.
In Wumme. Yes, we are out of time. Marie, one last word to those who are watching us, especially to the Aghem community in and out of Cameroon.
Well, I'll start by thanking you, Mr. Liu, for this opportunity given to us to gather here and make aware, that means to inform the public that we are about doing something for peace to reign in our community. I am Aghem because Aghem is me. I am proudly and unapologetically Aghem, and I'll always be Aghem. So I want to tell my brothers and sisters of Aghem clan that this peace initiative is not a one-man's affair. It is not for politicians. I am not one, sorry. I am just a patriotic daughter of Aghem land. So let's all unite for peace. It is a collective effort. And let's change, let's transform our mindset. The First World War started in 1914 and ended in 1918. That is, it took from July 1914 to November 1918. The Second World War began in 1939 to 1944, if my memory doesn't fail me. So the Anglophone socio-political crisis began in, is it November or December 2016, and here we are 2023, and the crisis is ongoing. We keep having bloodbath. We keep burying the younger generation, not even the old ones, but the younger generation. And I must be honest with you guys, my heart bleeds for our community. They're not the Francophones that are dying. They are not strangers that are dying, but our own. I cry like a mother who knows the pain of a child, who has born a child, and who knows the importance of a child. Our mothers gave birth to us for us to bury them, and not the other way around. So let's let's delete and discard that mentality of, okay, we know our rights and we keep dying because we want to claim that we know our rights. Yeah, it's good to fight for your rights, but not at the expense of your own life.
Okay, not at the expense of your own life. So we are calling on all our sons and daughters to be in womb as from
the 15th, okay. Wednesday the 15th of March to the Saturday the 18th of March 2023. So it is this week. It begins next tomorrow.
Okay, so it's also going to be fun, eh? We've missed one another for so long. Go and have that
Mr. Liu, touch. Yes. I can't wait to see you there. I hope you... Yes, because you're one of the peace activists. I know you've always stood for peace. Yes, so you must be there. It's not...
Yes, I'll have to be there. Yes, Sule, certainly one last word before we leave. Yes, Sule.
Yeah, what I want to say to my fellow panelists, my brothers and sisters here, I would say that us, the Muslim community, or the Hausa and the Fulani community, we are there. We are there, and you know us very well. You know us very well. You know what we can do and what we cannot do. And you know whether we are genuine or not, whether we are troublemakers or not. We've been living together. You know us very well. So I think that since the day one, thank God that the day one, they have said that only for the Aghems, you people will sit, and then you know how to get through and then get solutions that will favor everybody. Of course. You know where the problem is coming from. So I don't want to reiterate, insist on things like that. And I wish all the best for our beloved land, the land of womb, the land of Aghem, which is our land, all of us. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you very much for coming. Julian, you take Sule's place. Thank you for coming, Boko. No, Bokwifi, sorry. Sorry. Very terrible mistake. Yeah.
It's okay. Thank you, Mr. Liu. My younger brother is on. It's almost, I lack words to express the gratitude I owe you for bringing us here. And then I want to call on everybody, every Aghem, because like I explained earlier to my brother Sule, Aghem, when we say all Aghem, we mean that every person born, living, or loves Aghem is Aghem. That is why we call it all Aghem.
No, the program they say only.
No,
it's all Aghems. Come on.
It's okay. So what I'm saying, Sule, maybe.
Sule, please, just
let me just round up. So what I'm saying is that everybody is expected. It is true for those of us who are out of womb. The transportation is not very fleet, but let us struggle. Let's do our best and be there. When we come out in numbers, all things that people have been misjudging, misinterpreting, when we sit around the same table, share the same cup of water, the truth will come out and we'll look for a way, and we'll have a way forward. I'm very confident. Thank you once more.
Okay, Mr. Fung, thank you for coming.
It's a pleasure. It's mine.
Okay.
If I could say just one word in Aghem.
Yes, just go on.
In Aghem.
Yeah.
Good. Well, not so. Ramasi beat and down. So what you want to know it isn't paying. King Logay says, Dunkergum Kamatonga, Gumwodsum, away, I know. Alan to Untra, Alika Atulun to Igamatu Monte. I didn't sell to Igamatumo, if I answer to do. Sad the Maiza, you know. Equator will say, yeah, Ilozuno, book can Tizen don't walk, Nyasi Liza Uncle Nino Elizo. I bought them. Kabot Zali bought Tomlo, Kaboli bought Shulo, Alan Yangza Wissela, Alice Nyakachow, Kenmodo on the Abo Gata took a crown, Kungsma. And young Tugas Lebrana essay, when a was say, Secado Sonakabra, Amfala, Wagam Wumpu, Secom Gonio, and you know your barato, Zozoki Duatolo Scono, Wuzumbo, Bokunso Razum, says Sawadsum. ado onya anya adzam anna egam antu manchiako kuzonglo say.
Thank you to Mary for coming. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Mr. Liu.
Okay, we are going to be receiving Julian. Julian, can you just join me so that briefly we discuss about what will be taking place as from the whole of this week on Prime R. Julian, yes. Thank you for coming. We are here. We started the voting exercise for the best private university in Cameroon, and we stopped because we had some technical issues. We are going to be resuming as from tomorrow. Can you enlighten our televiewers on how to go about this?
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Leo. Like the televiewers know, we started something called the Prime R Viewers Choice Award. And like the name goes, Prime R Viewers Choice, meaning that the award is being done by the viewers. Whoever is going to win this award is through the viewers' votes. And so we started with the best credit union in Cameroon, and we moved to private universities. Like Mr. Liu has explained, we had to fix the website because voting is being done through the website for it to be more professional as a structure, since this Prime R Viewers Choice Award is going to be something regular on the Prime R show. So we created a website dedicated for this, and of course for accountability of these votes. And so the website has been armed. It is now very, very available for votes to be cast. And the schools, just to give a rundown of the schools that have been nominated for this best private university in Cameroon, we have HIMS Boya, Pan-African Institute for Development, West Africa. We have HIPMAT University, Institut Université de Gov de Guinea, Catholic University Institute of Boya, that's CUIB. We have International University Bamenda, Biaka University, the Siantu University. We have Formic Polytechnic. We have Swissling Professional University in Kumba. St. Louis University, Université de Montaigne is found in Bafoussam. We have ICT University Yaoundé, Chitema University is in Boya, National Polytechnic Bamenda, Landmark Higher Institute, HIPS Boya Higher Institute of Professional Studies. We have Université Catholique Saint-Jérôme in Douala. We have Ayuget Institute in Douala. So these are the universities that have been Cameroon, and the viewers are going to decide who is to be crowned the best private university in Cameroon. So we're going to post the link on our social media page. Tomorrow on the program, you have the voting link that you can go on the link, and it is very simple. Once you click on the link, you're going to see the schools that have been listed there. You click on the school of your choice, and you'll be directed to pay you want as you want, 1,000, 2,000, 50,000 for that, Mr. Liu.
So as from tomorrow,
Yes.
during Prime, we are going to give opportunity for you to vote for your best private university in Cameroon. Get yourselves ready to tell us and also explain why you think they are the best. Yeah?
Yes.
Is it St. Louis University? Is it HIPMAT University? Is it Biaka University or Catholic University Institute of
And
the
just
Diocese
to
of
add that the winner is going to be crowned here on the program, live on the program. So it's going to be an exciting moment.
Okay, we want to thank you all who took time off to watch this first edition of Prime on My Media Prime. Thank you to you, Desmond and Eli, for production. Tabi Brian for supervision. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.